Hello, I'd like to talk about something that happened to me yesterday. I'd like to try something new. I want to share my triumphs. That is what I want to try to do, and I want to try to inspire other people to share their triumphs with their friends and their families and everything. So I had a bit of a situation that occurred, and that situation was I have two daughters that I was supposed to pick up from two schools. Now, I was under the impression that I was only picking up one because I believed that she was going to uh, her biological father's house immediately after school. A mistake was on me because I misunderstood. Um, but for whatever reason, my Miranda, I was only supposed to go pick up one. So I got busy at work, couldn't make the trip without rearranging things a little too much in the schedule. So I called my father-in-law and asked him if he would go pick up my daughter. He said he would love to. Uh, Everything was hunky dory. Um, like I said, I was not aware that I was supposed to pick up both daughters. So it comes up to time that my oldest is getting out of school, and I figure would be picked up by my father-in-law. And I get a phone call from my wife saying that our daughter's still at school. She needs to be picked up. So, in my mind, I thought that maybe she just didn't realize that Grandpa was picking her up and not me. So, maybe there was a moment of time where, she just didn't know where the car was. And we bought him these little watch things that allow him to call, my wife and myself. And so I thought she just didn't know where I was. She called, like, no problem. I'll call him. I'll call her and get him lined up. So I called my father-in-law. When I called my father-in-law, my daughter answered the phone. Immediately I'm thinking, awesome, it's all taken care of. Got it all lined up. And so I texted back to my wife. He's got her. It's all picked up. Everything's great. I go about my day at work. Problem solved. I fixed it. Next thing that happens, about 45 minutes later, I get another phone call from my wife, and she is upset. And my wife is a sack full of kittens, so it's rare for her to be upset. But she was upset that I didn't listen, I'm not hearing, I'm being irresponsible, all the things. She was very mean to me, which is what it came down to. She was mean to me. And I was upset. I was livid. Just like almost seething with rage about this. Because it was a misunderstanding. And I felt defensive. I was so mad I didn't even know what I felt. I didn't even know what I was responding with or what emotion was going through me. I didn't have my vehicle, so I had my buddy drop everything and help drive me to school to go pick her up. Pick her up. She's fine. And walk on the school back. So everything's fine, but I'm not okay. I'm not okay with things. And finish work, whatever, occupy myself. And then, when she comes home from work later, it's just this distance between us. And that is just not what we have. She's my best friend. She's amazing. There's nobody that I'm closer to in the world. I love her, and I want to spend every single minute of my life with her. And I was really hurt. I was really mad. And so we had this distance all day, and I'm just trying to even just sort things out for myself because I don't even know what I'm feeling or what's going on. I just know that I'm not okay. we have some light conversation. I pick up a painting project that I'm working on just so that I can keep my distance. I don't know, silent treatment. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. I'm just hurt and mad. And, it's just so uncomfortable. Anytime anything like that's happening, it's just ridiculously uncomfortable. And, there's some light banter because my father-in-law is staying with us, and he's a custody old goat. I fucking love him to death. And he's, just kind of in this, what is normally a very jovial, happy, a wonderful banter and a wonderful, comfortable environment that we have is just tense, and it was terrible. And so he went off to bed. My wife goes off to bed. And I've really been trying to make sure, I'm a night owl. I like to stay up after the kids go to bed and play with all things that I don't get to play with when they're up. I don't multitask like my wife does, so I don't get to do my little hobbies necessarily when they're awake, or it's very difficult to. But I've been trying to go to bed with her more, and I don't know, it's nice. I get far less accomplished, but it's nice. So she was going to bed, and that awkwardness was just thick in the air, and I'm fiddling with my pains, and I finished a bit, and I decided I wasn't going to let her go to bed without me. I wanted to be there. Like, I love her more than anything, and I'm terrified at this point, honestly, because I've been a real shitbag most of my life. And I'm trying real hard to not be. But my willingness to just disconnect with a relationship that I don't know, that I feel wronged in, or maybe I just don't know how to deal with things that make me uncomfortable or that hurt me very well. Maybe I'm just too defensive, but once something happens in that relationship, I'll just turn on a switch and it's just done for me, and I'm just completely unattached. And my wife is the best thing that's ever happened to me. That is the farthest thing from what I want in my life. I can't and don't ever want to imagine what my life would be like without her. But I feel it. I feel it like this. It's just like right behind my skin. I feel like I want to be mean to her. Like I need to get her back, or punish her for that or something. I don't even know. I don't even know. I'm just overwhelmed. But I get down there and I make sure I go to bed with her. And she'd just gotten down there, so she wasn't asleep yet. And I'm laying down there next to her, and I just wanted to be by her. I just wanted this not to be what is happening. And I'm staring at the ceiling and just trying to figure out what I feel and what I do. And I just told her, I said, I'm not okay. I'm not. There's some cats in here. I'm very allergic to cats. Sorry. But I told her that I'm not okay. And we kind of walked through what happened together, and it was tense. And I thought about it, and I told her, I understand your side. You were scared. You thought our kid was in danger. You know, I get it. I understand. But we're on the same team. You don't have to be mean to me. I don't ever want to be mean to her. Cats. I mean, these cats are cute, but they're a fucking problem. And yeah, we talked about it, and she didn't know why she was mad to me, or why she was mean to me. She just knows that she was scared, and she didn't want to, and she felt bad about it. And in that conversation was wonderful, because I was so fucking close. When I get mad, I just want to see the whole fucking world burn down. I don't care if it's something I love. I don't care if it's something valuable. I don't care if it's hurting myself. Like, I just want to see the fucking world burn if I'm mad. And I don't want to be that guy ever again. I fucking love wearing that. I love it. I love my life. For being as much of a shitbag as I was, I'm truly happy. I have this scenario where I'm truly happy. And this conversation with my wife, I kind of feel like relationships are like electronics. If something happens and that magic smoke comes out, you can't put it back. It's gone. And like in a relationship, if you say something or put something out there that's horrible or mean, it doesn't go back. You can't unsay it. It's there. And so I really am practicing never saying anything bad or mean when I'm angry. I think the meanest thing I've ever said to Heidi was, we were arguing once about the design, putting up walls in the basement downstairs, because we got a pretty tiny house and 3 hideous children. We were trying to lay that out, and everybody, of course, had their input. Because I wanted all our bedrooms downstairs. I want us to be close. So I'd put 3 bedrooms and a master bedroom and a laundry room. And the rooms were small. I mean, it was what we could do with the space. And everybody coming over had their advice. And we hadn't really worked it out together. I had just been working on it. So when she brings all this up after I've been really grinding my gears on these things for a while, she brings it up, and I just snapped one day with all that, and I'm like, I'm not a fucking sorcerer. So telling her that I'm not a fucking sorcerer is honestly the biggest verbal argument we've ever had. Now, I've never done that in a relationship ever. This one, I have. I'm trying very hard to never say anything bad when I'm upset, because I am a savage, and I will hurt people, and I have hurt people with the things that I say. I think it's very easy to do, and I don't want to do that, and I haven't. And this has been the most amazing relationship I've ever had. I didn't know that you could have relationships like I didn't even know it was a thing. I'd never seen it. And I'm terrified of losing it. So I'm trying really hard to sink this all in and just learn how to even argue better, even how to be upset better. I think it starts with just trying to figure out what the fuck you're feeling. And so having that talk with her, saying, things are going to get forgotten. Things are going to break. There will be miscommunications. Like, all these things are going to happen. But I'm on your team. Like, we can't be mean to each other. We need to support each other. Because being mean to each other never helps that. Like, her being mean to me didn't help that situation at all. It only hurt it. The damage was done. The damage is always done already. When people get to these places, the damage is always already done. We don't need to be mean to each other. It doesn't help you. We should always be helping the people that we know be better, not be worse. That conversation with my wife, honestly, I feel like every time we have these conflicts, every time there's something minor that we disagree on, the way we are learning to trust each other to come through these things and trust each other to have, our best interests in heart. I think it really helps us all. So one of my best friends was the one who drove me home. So he was kind of there in the thick of it with me when I was upset. And so, I called him this morning because after everything had kind of just come through the wash, I'm so much happier now than yesterday. And I don't know if it's because of that instant of conflict being such a pressure on me, or if it's just because surviving that conflict and understanding that the thing that I'm most afraid of was beaten for this one time. It's always one time. You only need to beat it one time. And that one time is every time. But I beat it. And I figured it out, and I got around it just by being brave enough to tell her I wasn't okay. Instead of holding it in and being mad and being spiteful and being angry and being hurt and all these things that it's fucking stupid to do. I don't want to do it. So I called my friend, and I wanted to share with him everything that happened from that, because things could have been done a little differently in the scenario. And that's what I think everybody should find. Everybody should be trying to find the best way to navigate all of their little scenarios. Whether it's with your friends, whether it's with your job, whether it's with your spouse, all these things, I think we all need to be better at having the difficult conversations, the hard conversations, the ones that you feel guilty about or feel angry about, or all those things. If we're just willing to get it out there, put it out there, have those talks, we'll get better at having those talks. And the more of those talks we have, I think the closer we'll get in all regards. I think the better we'll get at being people. I feel like my whole life I've just kind of been in this box. You want everybody to see you a certain way, so you put yourself into this box, and you don't do anything outside of that box because you feel like if somebody sees you outside this box, they're not going to think you're this box. and that takes shape many different ways for many different people. For me, I wanted to be a tough guy. I really did. When I was a little kid, I remember being at the grocery store with my mom, and I was probably like 6. I was pretty small, and my dad was non-existent. He wasn't a thing. But I was in the mall, or not in the mall, but it was in this grocery store, and I remember holding my mom's hand, and she's just kind of talking to herself. You know, she's just kind of musing, and my mom was a tough woman, but I remember she looked at the guy in line ahead of us, and she was like, "Oh my, what feminine hands!" What she just mused to herself about this gentleman that was standing in front of us. Not loud enough for him to hear. Just talking to herself. But I heard it, and I was blown away. Up to that point, I had no idea that you could be a boy and have feminine hands. That was a terror to me. My dad was gone. I'm 6, but I'm supposed to be the man of the house. You know, I can't have feminine hands. It's unacceptable. How am I supposed to protect anybody? So that scared me. And so my whole life, I have tried to do things the more difficult way. I don't know, I think the challenges that we take on make you stronger, make you tougher. So it didn't matter what it was. I was always trying to find the hardest way to go about it. If you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough. So I was looking for the dumb ways to do things, and I was really succeeding at finding the dumb way to do things. And it made me tough, but I'm getting off topic. I'll talk about that another time. But what I did was I called my buddy, and I just relayed the entire scenario to him. And I had a lot of, the cats were all over. I was having a bit of a problem when I hadn't talked with my allergies. Have really been bothering me lately. But I told him all of it, and I just shared with him and his wife everything that I had gone through. I just bared my soul, laid it open. I just wanted them to see an example of a way to navigate a scenario that makes it stronger. Because I don't know if a lot of people have that fucking self-destruct button, but I know enough do. And if you do, I want to let you know that it's possible to pull back from it. It's possible to train yourself to not do that. You don't have to fuck everything up just because you're mad or because you're hurt. We can do it. We can be better. I'm being better, and I couldn't be happier. But I shared that triumph with a friend because I hope it helps them. I hope it helps everybody. And I want my friends to share their triumphs with me. I'm on the quest to be the best or the most amazing husband I can be. And that involves all aspects of improving my life to be a better person. So share your triumphs. I think all friends have a responsibility to each other to help lift all of our friends up. I'm very close with my friends. And I want them all to be just the happiest people they can be. And I want them to help me be the happiest person I can be. So I think if we share these things with each other, like, maybe that scenario fits with the way you interact. Maybe you've got a better way to interact. Maybe you've got a worse way to interact. Whatever. You can take a look at these things and just, if we look at everything and try to find what works for us, that's all I'm trying to say. Let's just try to all help each other be the best people we can be. So I hope it helps. Um, it was a wonderful experience for me, and I hope it helps somebody. And I want you all to share your triumphs with the people that are closest to you. We are better as a collective. We can go farther as a collective. I think. I think the times of people being so separated or so divided, I think it needs to. I think it stops with every person. I think we can lift everybody up, and we can be happier from it. We can be more satisfied. So, share your triumphs. I'm sorry I've blabbed on for a long time. I don't really know what I'm doing here yet. I'm just trying to figure it out. Thank you for your time.